So here I am again, doing one thing that I don't like to do. It's do presentations. But I'm here to talk about a subject that I love a lot. And like Bitcoin unlocks money, we made a protocol that unlocks the web. So before I talk about the protocol, let me talk about a little bit about myself so you can introduce me properly. I did lots of work on the Bitcoin industry for a long time. And as I said, I'm a developer, so I'm not used to be on stage. I'm more a backstage guy. So I like to do code. Cypherpunks write code, right? So you can see like a little bit of my proof of work on my website, miguelmedeiros.dev. I've worked for the major industry here. A few websites that you probably use every day, like mempool.space or LNbits. And now I'm currently working for Synonym. And you can check also my GitHub, / Miguel Medeiros, and you can see everything that I do, because everything that I do is open source. So yeah, as I was saying, as a personal note, struggle with me because I'm more of a backstage guy. So why am I here? Well, why am I doing this, the things that I hate a lot, being on stage, is because I'm here out of moral obligation. So probably you guys, as me, when you learn about Bitcoin, you were the guy, right? Everybody looks crazy. Like you're like this. You try to explain to your family, to your friends, and it sounds crazy. My wife actually thought it was crazy. I lost weight, and I stood like in a month, like for 6 months in my room, trying to understand and figure out what Bitcoin was at the time. And shit, here I am doing it again. And so, okay, stop talking bullshit, and let's present what I want to present here. So what is happening with the web? So we like to say that the web currently is locked because we have like 3 major problems: centralization, censorship, and walled garden. So let's go through all of them first so we know how to fix it, right? So the first one is centralization. Centralization means that they have a centralized power, right? So your data is their business. Everything that you put on the internet, like you use social medias and stuff like that, it's theirs, it's not yours, right? Even if you put the content there, they have everything, your friends, everything. All your social semantic graphic, right? And the second problem is censorship. And censorship means that you lose your voice if they want to, right? Because you're using a centralized web, and if they decided to cut you off, there's nothing that you can do, right? Instead of moving to another social media that's also centralized. And I want to say a personal note, because I'm from Brazil, and in Brazil we live in a left-wing government. So if you say something that they don't like it, they actually ban the things. They don't like you to say anything that they don't like it. So that happened twice in Brazil with 2 major social media there, like Twitter and Rumble. They decided to not to censor anybody. And then they said, okay, let's ban Twitter. So they banned Twitter. It was a cool case because now we learn how to use VPN, so okay, that was a good outcome for that. But they have this power to ban things. So imagine what could happen if you have a free flow of information. Do you think the status quo will leave us? Like will let us have those? So yeah, the one thing that I know for sure is information dispersed. What I have in my brain, you don't have in yours, and it's the other way around. So if we exchange information fast, it's a problem for them, right? So what happens if we have like a fast and uncensorable social media? It's going to be super dangerous, right? First they say that you're spreading fake news, and then they start to hunting you and telling you that you're a threat for democracy, right? So yeah, we will be hunted no matter what. It's okay, no more personal notes. Let's go to the walled gardens, the third problem, right? So the third one is walled gardens. It's a trap. Like you're super trapped in the current social media, right? Because you don't own your data, you don't own your identity, and you don't know your social graph. So if you have an account on Twitter and you change to Facebook or Instagram, whatever, you lose everything, right? You cannot have the same thing. You have to do another account and keep going and going and going. and everything, I like to say that everything is an IOU here. So it's kind of fiat social media, right? So okay, so how can we fix this? Since we know the problems, how can we fix this? Well, how can we actually unlock the web? So we couldn't find out anything. We are a research company, so we researched all of the possible solutions that we had at the time. And we couldn't find anything to fix this. So we decided to build our own stack that I'm going to present to you here. So we divided it into these 3 columns there, the Pubky core, the indexer, and the Pubky app. So let's go quickly over them. So let's start with identity. So as Bitcoin says, like, not your keys, not your coin. That's a good meme. Not your keys, not your identity. So we use cryptographic key pairs. So just to give you an example, this is a private key. It's your C, that is your entropy that you generate offline, so keep it secret. And this is the public key that is exposed to your friends so they can connect with you, right? So we made like an app. The first app I'm going to show, like, just to give you a sneak peek, it was we made a keychain app called Pubky Ring. And Pubky Rings kind of enables you to create an account and authorize apps. So you just can create your key pair on this app, and you can use the key pair to authorize clients. Okay, so what's next? We already have an identity, right? Is our public key. The other part is, how can I find where your data is with that public key, right? This is the next step. So today, we use something called DNS. You probably know that. It's domain name servers, right? Like google.com is a domain, right? But this is a centralized router, right? This is an example of my website, miguelmedeiros.dev, and it's pointing to Vercel server, right? That I hosted my website in Vercel. So I have to go to Cloudflare, go to their dashboard, ask permission to change to point where my DNS is, and before that I need to buy a registrar. I have to buy this domain, miguelmedeiros.dev. So everything is permission. Like, I need to ask permission for everything, and everything is centralized, right? So we were researching, and we couldn't find any solution that could decentralize this, because this is the first part that we can unlock the web, right? The DNS, how can we find things? So then on our research, we found something that called mainline DHT. It's the same network that BitTorrent uses to propagate files. So in a mainline DHT, they have something that they call BIP. You know BIPs from BIPs, from Bitcoin? Bitcoin Improvement Proposals? They have something called BEPs there. It's the same concept, but it's the same with the E. And one of the BEPs allows you to store 1,000 bytes of data. So you can query your public key to the DHT, and they will retrieve you this 1,000 bytes of data. And the simple idea, but the smartest one was, okay, we can use this space to store DNS. And then we fix the DNS decentralization. So we built a tool called Picard, as you can see there. It's kind of a dashboard of Cloudflare. You put your public key, and you can retrieve this routing system. So you can retrieve, it points where your data is, okay? And the first application that we built after Picard was, okay, let's build something that called PKDNS, right? Public key DNS, that you can resolve something like, imagine that you run this PKDNS on your machine, and when you paste your public key in your browser, press enter, and then boom, you have your website. You just query your local DNS that's pointing to the mainline DHT and retrieving the information for you. So amazing, right? So okay, just to summarize, you have identity, that's your public key. You have the routing system that you use the mainline DHT and points to your storage, right? Okay, so let's talk about the storage. Where is your data hosted? Well, the simplest name ever is your home server, right? The server of your data, okay? And you can have like 2 types of home servers. One is account-based home server, and the other one is self-hosted home servers, right? I can rent a little bit of my server to you, so you can store your data on my server, or you can run yourself, doesn't matter. So okay, public key is identity, routing is a mainline DHT, and then you have the storage is the home server. So we could have something like that. So I put my public key, find where my home server is, and I know where my server is. It points to my profile. Let's say the profile.json, that there are my information there, and it retrieves my profile to you. And you have something that we call unstoppable URLs. Okay, you have your public key / to the path of your file. So it is the same, right? So sorry. Okay. So the next question is, okay, nice. Nobody can ban my public key because I've made for my private keys. Nobody can ban the routing part because I'm using mainline DHT. But what if they decided to ban my server? Right? So if they decided to ban my server, what I can do is migrate my data to another server, update my records in the mainline DHT, and boom, just to point to a new home server. And the magic part is the links will remain the same. So my public key didn't change at all because I didn't change my private key. So it's the same public key / I didn't change my files because I migrate to another server. So the links will remain the same. So you always have this discoverability. It's unstoppable. If you can migrate, it's unstoppable. You know the guacamole game? I think that's the name, that you try to pun the head, like it's try to pun one server, there's another one. Pun one, there's another one. And you're always updating and pointing to where your data is. So it's really easy to find your data and discover where your files are. So this, to summarize, this is what we call Pubky core. It's the core part of the stack. Okay, this is why we can unlock the web. With this, you can unlock everything. But that's the sad part. It doesn't fix, like, it's not enough to fight against big and centralized social platform, right? It's not enough. This can unlock the web, but to unlock social platforms, no. But why? So we need to face like these three problems, like speed, discoverability, and scalability, right? So how can we achieve that? It's simple. It's just by indexing. You know indexers. All of you know indexers. Indexers are something like Google, for example. When you type on the search bar anything on Google and you press enter, what you're actually searching is not like, you're not crawling the web, searching for all the websites to get the result. No, you're querying a Google database, right? And the Google database has an indexer for you, index that for you, and retrieves you with the results, right? So this is the most famous indexer. Then we build one for us. We call it Nexus. It's the indexer of the Pubky ecosystem. And Nexus organize your queries to retrieve you a cool endpoint so you can have like a decentralized social graph. So for example, instead if you have like a list of public keys that are your friends, no, you get a list of pub key, but you also get all the data attached to that public key. So the profiles of every public key, and then you have like cool endpoints for that. So okay, let's go to the other column of the stack. That's the apps. So the apps is just clients, right? It's just to make it simple to put, delete, and get something to your home server or indexers, right? And it's just designed for usability. So this is the flow of the information on the ecosystem. So you have the apps. The apps put and deletes data into your home server, right? And the home server creates event streams and populate indexers, okay? And also you can get things from home server. So you can use the apps to put things on your home server and to retrieve this information directly to the home server, or you can get cool indexers that does that for you. But you can always verify yourself the information on the home server, right? The source of truth. So okay, so we built everything. We built the whole stack. I'm here trying to promote the stack, but that was not enough because we want to give you a sneak peek of what's going on and what's happening. So we built an app for you guys, and we launched the beta version yesterday. So I encourage you to go to the booth. It's the first booth there. We will be there the whole conference, and we are giving you invite codes so you can check it out and have a sneak peek of the app. So please go there. So in the app, you can publish things, posts, articles, video files, whatever, and you can tag them. You can tag a profile, and you can also tag a post, okay? And you can, with that, we can also have a semantical social graph. That means like I can follow you, you can follow me back, we can be friends, and you can, like, with that, you can do lots of more things. So what is different? Different is that you are a key on this ecosystem, okay? So you control your data, you control everything. You have the power of tagging, so you're kind of classifying all the things that you want with your keys. And there is no opaque algorithms. You can create your own feed, in the sense that if I want to filter by my followers that are Bitcoiners and like cats, I can follow that. I can make my custom feed for me. So these are the main benefits of the Pubky ecosystem that I want to show you guys, is that we are using the largest and the most decentralized peer-to-peer network in existence right now, is the mainline DHT. So it's super censorship resistant. You have sovereignty over your identity and over your data. And you have full control where your data is. So this is the solution that we want to present to you guys and encourage you to use to be a self-sovereign person, right? So before I go, I want to give a call to action because I got really pissed off about Bitcoin world because I'm here like since I think the beginning. And like I said, I'm more of a backstage guy, but this really pissed me off. There is a meme that said that Bitcoin is inevitable. Fuck that off. It's not inevitable. If it's inevitable, what the fuck are you doing here, right? If it's inevitable, why do we have like 300 issues on Bitcoin Core? If it's inevitable, let's not do anything, just sit and relax, right? And it's not like that, guys. I'm sorry, but it's not like that. And I got really pissed off about this, so this is the second time that I haven't, like I said to you, I think it's a moral obligation because I do think this is a real problem, and I have 2 kids, and I want to deliver them in barrel world, so I really do think that we should unlock the web too. And in order to unlock the web, you need to do it, just do it, right? Just do it in a sense that the same thing that you do with your, how can I self-custody my keys? How can I understand how to make a transaction? How to deal with TX hash or something, you know what I mean? You need to do the same proof of work here. So you need to make a choice now. Do you want to live in a locked web, or you want to live in an uncensorable web? So I encourage you guys to go to our booth, grab an invite code, create your account, play with the app. It's the first app, it's a beta, it's gonna have bugs, you're not ready, but you can have a sneak peek of the future, right? So if you want to check everything regarding the app, it's pubky.app. If you want to check all the things regarding Pubky Core on how everything happens underneath the hood, go to pubky.org. And yeah, that's it. See you in the books, and thanks for your time.
Secure your BTC Prague 2026 ticket at the lowest possible price now.